So I'm with the NSX today, looking at this 6-speed manual LSD swap, and I need to swap these levers around, but as you can see, there's not really much room in there at all. In fact, there's less than much room, which is quite upsetting. So what am I going to do? That is the question. What am I going to do? Well, it's like it's touching there, to be honest with you. And I think I was making a cantilever system here. Means I need to modify where that mounts up to, the cables. Yep, that's definitely touching already. So that needs sorting out. We'll take this gearbox off and have a look at it. The thing to do is make cantilever system reverse the direction of cables. Keep them as they are. And make some really long cables, because that needs to be reversed as well. So go around there. That up. Now obviously I need to make a mount for that to sit further down, but the only other way of getting around it is actually mount that as it's supposed to go, like that, for front wheel drive, and then use some really long cables. Possibly super long, go around, maybe like round and down like that. I'm not sure about the bends on them. Come back up here and through the back and then round again. I mean, that doesn't really sound too great, but what I'm going to do for now is I'm going to get the gearbox off, and I mean, will it go? Possibly. There is possibly room there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get the gearbox off for now and yeah, have a look at the options, see what I think is going to be viable. And this is one option, this, so we'll see. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the gearbox off, I'm going to get all this mounts off and everything, get the A-frame off, disconnect the half shaft, get the mount off of that and do it, which is there. Take the mount off that I made up for the gearbox, pull the gearbox off. That's what I need to do. Two of the custom mounts are off, half shafts off, engine supported. Now I've just got to take out a couple of gearbox bolts to get the gearbox out, and it should slide out. Box off the NSX here. The only thing I'm going to be concerned about is space here. Make a cantilever system. This can obviously come off. This is what's catching on the coolant housing, so we can get rid of that. That doesn't need to be on there. It's just probably for a different. I think they're using one different engine or something, different car. Because on the selector mechanism as well, you've got an empty one there, which is not going to be used. Ideally, I need to make this come across here slightly. So reverse on this is right and down, and that operates this one here. That's obviously going right, and that's going to reverse, right and reverse, and then obviously you've got your down movement on here, which is obviously the down movement is actually is a push. So in terms of reverse, that's that, and this one goes forward, and that's reverse. Whereas first would be first. So I'm gonna think about this a little bit. To think about it. Make a cantilever system off here, or use some longer cables. I don't know. Interesting. Longer cables and face this shifter the other way. I don't think I'm going to have room to. Definitely haven't got room to put these over here, because that's going to interfere with that bolt for sure. This one's already in the coolant housing, so there's no room there. Yeah. I'll have a think about it and I'll come back and decide what I'm going to do. I'm going to measure a few things up space-wise and whatnot. But yeah, cables are still going to have to come in from this way because I don't see how I'm going to get it on that way. So 100% the cables need to come in from this way and not that way, because I won't be able to make anything off here to shift it with the space that's there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to chop this off here because it's not needed, build a base plate off of these two bolts to come round. That base plate is going to sit flat. It's going to house two pegs in. Okay. Oh fuck, this needs to move that way as well, doesn't it? Might have to rethink that one. Think. How much can these bend? That's the question. Not very much. So unless that gets rotated. Oh, this is going to be a right pain in the arse, this is. I'll think of something. I've come to the conclusion that I'm going to need to mount it this way. Now I'm going to make our base plate, which I've got down there already. I've just made a base plate for it and space it up a little bit more so you can see clear, it's not touching, and it will clear, it's not touching this position. However, I need to space it. It's hitting there, and it was hitting there. Space it up a little bit so it's not going to knock on the sides here. These need to move in a little bit too. That side needs to move in a bit too. But as you can see, pretty much central as it is. So space it up a bit, and it should work out just fine. I can move this up or down as well if I want to. Move it up or down a little bit. Again, I can move that up and down a little bit. But once it's spaced up, it should stop. The knocking. Pivot point's going to be higher up, so that means the angle is going to be less at the top. The position's alright, to be fair. Well, I can even turn that down a bit more, and put the thread a bit lower down if I want to. Take out, lave it, and then put a thread on it further down. But I think that's quite a nice little position. So I'll take this off for a minute. And you see, base plate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the base plate in place, which is where it needs to go now. Just cut this. Nice thick big steel. I'm going to thread this for these bolt holes here. 1, 2, 3, 4, front and back. I'm just going to drill through this. I'm going to mark it roughly where I want to drill through. Make sure we're not in the same place as these are. So I'll probably better do that first, actually. Do that first, and then I'll drill through it, mark it in place, put this on top, and then yeah, drill through that and thread that. Okay, there's that set in there, ready for the plate to go on. Where the plate goes now, let's check it out. It should line up. Let's check. Yeah, basically there. It will go in once I put them in. Just twist it a little bit. It's a bit hard to do like that. Put that in place, and then put a couple of bolts in, hold it in. These ones will do for now. And I'll mark out where this needs to go. Cutting full spacer at 24mm. Show you in there. I've got it all bloody perfectly lined up. So that is all bolted down now loosely. It's got perfect movement. Just need to space it up so we can get more left-right movement if we need it. Yeah, it's looking good, man. I like it. It's looking really good. I'll show you this way. Sitting where it is. Yeah, perfect. Yeah. I'll show you. I've got a nice bit of gap there. It's perfect. It's about even both ways. Central. It's looking good. It's going to make a nice shift of that. Cut part of the feet off there, front and back. So like I say, just loosely threaded in, and I'll need to make up a bracket for the handbrake cable. Sorry for the handbrake, make up a new bracket for the handbrake, put that on, and the handbrake cable's down there. Yeah, it's looking good, coming along nice. So spacer placement shift is made up. Those are threaded holes there on the insides. These ones bolt down into the chassis. Probably quite hot. Put a few tacks on it. See, those holes are threaded. So all we need to do is let it cool down and get it in the car. Get it mounted and see how the shifter works. So that's the NSX shifter all sort of mocked up for today. Just mocked up, fitted. Looking pretty central. I will be it's a sort of finished height there, which is okay. Boom, 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 boom. I can make that shorter as well. That's it really. I'll be finishing off another day, so getting the gearbox and that sorted. I think that'll be it for today's video. I need to make a bracket for this and whatnot, handbrake and whatnot, but that's okay for now. There we are, it looks awesome. Looks awesome already. Little sneak peek, what's going to be happening over here. Project I'm working on will be for sale. Different colours to match your car. This car is going to be yellow or black. Pretty awesome there. Carbon fibre dials, 10k rev limit, 200 mile an hour. Tiny Racing, my brand. Sexy. The shifter's looking pretty good there. Pretty happy with that.